Welcome to Coin Retrospectives, short histories of old coins. And here we have an Indian head penny, minted from 1859 to 1909. On the obverse, it features a profile of Lady Liberty wearing a headdress, and on the reverse, there's the denomination surrounded by a laurel wreath. In 1858, James Barton Longacre was told to redesign his Flying Eagle cent, which proved to be difficult to strike on the new copper-nickel alloy. Legend has it that Longacre designed Liberty based on his daughter Sarah, but he actually modeled Lady Liberty on a statue of Crouching Venus, then in Philadelphia on loan from the Vatican. The mint director at the time, James Snowden, suggested to Longacre that Christopher Columbus be the face of the new coin, but Longacre felt that the public would not be approving of a historic figure on an American coin. Columbus would, nearly 40 years later, become the first person to appear on an American coin, the Columbian half-dollar, in 1892. The design was changed in 1860, adding a small shield to the top of the reverse and swapping out the laurel wreath for an oak wreath. One coin historian suggests that this was done to give the coin more national character. When the Indian head penny hit circulation for the first time in 1859, it wasn't yet legal tender, meaning the coin didn't have to be accepted for any debt, public or private. The cent was minted to help ease commerce by providing small change for transactions. The smallest denomination otherwise was the 3-cent silver piece that had begun minting in 1851. Unfortunately, since the mint had exchanged too many Spanish silver coins and the old American copper cents for the new coins, the former because it was losing its legal tender status, and the latter due to its cumbersome size, there were just too many cents in circulation. In the South and West, they were disliked due to their base metal content and lack of legal tender status. One merchant in New York City actually had their floor collapse due to storing too many cents. The American Civil War relieved this surplus as gold and silver began to vanish from commerce. Until 1864, the coin was struck with the same composition as the Flying Eagle cent, but in that year, facing both nickel and cent shortages due to the war, the mint director, James Pollock, urged Congress for legislation to allow them to mint coins of a different composition. These efforts resulted in the Coinage Act of 1864, which changed the coin's composition to what's known as French bronze, or 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. The new coin would also be slimmer, which caused the coin to drop about 1.5 grams of weight. This composition would last for 118 years, barring the 1943 steel cents. More importantly, the act made the cent legal tender for the first time, with the cent and 2-cent pieces being accepted in quantities of up to 10. Side note, if you'd like to hear about another coin that was minted as per the Coinage Act of 1864, click the card in the upper right corner. The Indian head penny would be struck until 1909, when it was replaced by the Lincoln cent in honor of what would have been the late president's 100th birthday. From 1859 to 1864, the Indian cent's composition was 88% copper and 12% nickel and had a mass of 4.67 grams. And some 1864 and later coins are 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc and have a mass of 3.11 grams. Only the last 2 years of the set had them minted anywhere other than Philadelphia, so if you're fortunate enough to have an Indian head penny with a mint mark, you'd find it underneath the oak wreath on the reverse. Undoubtedly, the key date for the series is 1877, with a mintage of only 852,500. Another is 1909S, with a mintage of only 309,000. As for price, Indian head cents are pretty cheap. Coins in good grades often sell for less than $100, and you can usually find them for much less than that. And that wraps it up here for the Indian head penny. If you care to, please consider subscribing, and as always, leave your 2 cents in the comments, and have a great day.